You know how some companies talk big, like really big, promising to change the future? Well, here's a story about one of them. Gensol Engineering. You've probably heard the name. They were behind BluSmart, that electric ride-hailing service that looked super promising. But what if I told you that the same company is now being investigated for fraud? Let me walk you through what really happened. So, back in 2023, Gensol got a huge loan, over 600 crore rupees, from a government-backed lender called Power Finance Corporation, or PFC. The money was meant for something big. The plan was to buy 6,000 electric vehicles. Out of that, 5,000 would go to BluSmart for taxis, and another 1,000 for delivery vehicles. Everything sounded great. Clean energy, government support, and EVs the future, right? But things started to get suspicious. In early 2025, credit rating agencies like CARE and ICRA suddenly downgraded Gensol's rating to D. That's a red flag. A D rating basically means the company is in default, it's either not paying its loans or there are serious delays. Now here's where it gets wild. To avoid that downgrade, Gensol allegedly sent letters to the rating agencies claiming that it was up to date with all its repayments. But those letters were fake. Completely fabricated. They weren't written by the lenders at all. When the agencies decided to double-check with PFC and IREDA, the truth came out. Gensol had forged the documents. And that's when the whole thing started to fall apart. PFC immediately filed a complaint with the Economic Offences Wing in Delhi. They also began their own internal investigation. At the same time, SEBI, India's stock market regulator, stepped in and launched a probe of its own. Now, here's where it gets even messier. SEBI sent officials to Gensol's EV plant in Pune. And what did they find? Almost nothing. Just 2 or 3 workers standing around. No manufacturing going on. Machines weren't running. There was no activity at all. Even the electricity bills told the same story, barely any usage. For a factory, that's not normal. And remember how Gensol said they had received pre-orders for 30,000 EVs? Turns out that wasn't true either. Those weren't real orders. They were just MOUs, memorandums of understanding, basically, written statements from other companies saying, yeah, we might buy cars from you sometime. No pricing. No delivery dates. No payment commitments. In other words, just a bunch of handshakes on paper. But Gensol told the public and the stock market that these were real sales. That's misleading. Then comes the money trail. Between 2022 and 2024, Gensol got close to 977 crore rupees in loans from PFC and IREDA. Of that, over 660 crore rupees was meant for buying EVs. But the company only purchased around 4,700 vehicles, worth 567 rupees crore. So what happened to the rest of the money? SEBI thinks 262 crore rupees was diverted, moved through other companies owned by the promoters, the Jaggi brothers. Some of that money was allegedly used for personal expenses. Buying a luxury apartment. Transferring funds to relatives. Investing in businesses owned by the same people. Basically, public money, meant for green mobility, was being used for private gain. After that, everything started collapsing. SEBI barred Anmol and Puneet Jaggi from trading in the stock market. They were removed from the board. Gensol's planned stock split was stopped. And soon after, Gensol EV, the company's electric vehicle manufacturing arm, shut down entirely. All remaining employees were laid off. The company is now being investigated by SEBI, the Economic Offences Wing, the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, and possibly even the Enforcement Directorate. And Gensol's stock. It's been hitting lower circuits day after day. Investors can't even sell. The share price has dropped to its lowest point in a year. It's a mess. And for many retail investors, it's a nightmare. So here's the real takeaway. Don't just go by what a company says. Don't fall for fancy announcements, memos, and press releases. If a company says they've got 30,000 orders, ask for details. Who's buying? At what price? What's the delivery schedule? Always read between the lines. SEBI exists for a reason. Follow their updates. Read audit reports. Look at what the credit rating agencies are saying. And most importantly, do your own due diligence. Because no matter how convincing a company sounds, if the numbers don't add up, it's your money that's at risk. Stay smart. Stay cautious. And don't invest blindly.